Yo, what's good? This is Big Kid, and I am dressed like this because I recently just got home from work. And honestly, when it comes to this kid Dwodo, I hope I pronounced that right. But I really fucking agree because when I was younger, and mind you, I'm probably on that edge, that fine line of when parents began to pussify their children. And I was raised by somebody who was ex-military, but was also my mother. Like, I got to see my dad growing up, but my mother was basically the main person who raised me. And she was ex-military. She was from St. Louis. She was from the rough part too, you know? And she didn't fucking play when it came down to it. Eventually she figured out, okay, I can't just beat the shit out of my kid continuously. But at some point she figured like to psychologically fucking break me, which actually made me stronger. And I say that to this day because that's just how the fuck I am. It's really like if somebody tried to fucking break me, I accept the fucking challenge, honestly. But what this father did to this kid, honestly, if it worked, what the fuck can you say? Is the kid psychologically stable? Does he have like a fear of snow and shit? Is that the case? Otherwise, if it was literally something that he did out of love and it worked, no actual harm was coming to this child. It wasn't like he was beating the fuck out of the kid. Then you can't really call it abuse. He pretty much just put his kid through fucking boot camp. And honestly, I think a lot of kids should have to go through that shit nowadays. Because, we are literally pussifying the shit out of kids. I understand wanting your kids to be more sophisticated and trying to find different techniques as far as toughening, as far as at least having your kid understand and comprehend the certain complications of life and whatnot, and just having them gain some common sense and just rather than just having to fucking beat it into them or just drill it into them. But not all kids. It doesn't work that way with all kids, and what happens is I very think a very good similar situation to put towards this is the the father that recently, I don't know, there's a video on YouTube of a father. He basically wound up going on to his daughter's laptop to fix it or whatever, and found that she had posted on her Facebook uh, a very offensive post about him, about her mother, about her stepmother, and just basically her being just a fucking spoiled brat and trying to say she was rebellious. And his response was basically was publicly saying that her life was about to get real fucking, it was about to actually get hard. He was about to fucking ground her ass until she was 18. Until she was old enough to be able to get the fuck out the house herself. And he ended the video by putting, I believe, seven or eight hollow point bullets in into her laptop. And honestly, I made a response video to that, and the response was this. Because nowadays you got it where parents are just way too fucking soft on their kids. And that's just my opinion. In comparison to the shit that I had to go through, and I see that the things that some of the kids are having to go through now, it's like that's nothing. You know how rare it is you see a parent whoop their kid's ass. I've seen it maybe once, while working, at different places, Sam's Club, different stuff like that. I've seen it maybe once where a parent actually whooped their kid's ass. And all I could think to myself was, fucking right. That was awesome. But besides, it's that's the problem is a lot of parents they're just really pussifying all of our kids. And my thing is, like I said, I understand if you don't want to have to use violence against your child, but at some point you gotta assert that dominance. It's like, until you are working and paying bills, and you are grinding just as hard as me. We are not equals. That's how it works. Me and my mother, we didn't really speak as equals until, I got to the point where I was working a full-time job, busting my ass, going to school at the same time, all of this. We couldn't really speak as equals. And but when I did, we then that's when we spoke as equals. It was still, mother and son, but it didn't get to that point. It didn't get to the point of where we could have a conversation as two equal adults until I actually, I was doing my own fucking thing and I was on my shit. And a lot of these kids aren't even doing that, and the parents still are like, "Oh, we're best friends," and it's like, no, no. And that's why that's the reason, that's one of the main reasons we got a lot of the fucking problems we got going on right now. But you know, I digress. Do I think Duo's father was being too hard on him? Not if it worked. You know, if for whatever reason the kid got fucking pneumonia and died or some shit, yeah, you fucked up, guy. You fucked up. But if it was literally, he took it, one day at a time, and that's just where he had progressed to being, hey, then that's what's up. Then it worked. It worked. What the fuck can you say? Are your kids? Do your kids have a fucking IQ of 218, or was it 218? Well, over hell. Does your kid have an IQ over 150? How about that? You know. So that's just my 2 cents on the whole matter and whatnot. Shout out to Philip DeFranco, always making awesome ass videos, and I always enjoy responding to them. This is Big Kid, and I'm out.